Alright. Picture in picture. Open the god. Did that just save? Yeah, we'll give it time. We'll be able to tell me. And it'd be 7:28. That seems about right. No, it would have been me saving it before talking to the guy. So I'll save again. Hmm? Oh, walk the easy. Oh, I thought that was pizza for a second. Hmm. Alright, first we go talk to Brother Nicodemus.
Brother Nicodemus.
You've heard something?
The Inquisitor has decided that Johanka will be tried, but he's agreed that I can defend her.
That's really quite unusual. It must mean he hasn't come to a clear conclusion yet.
Yes. I'll get her out of it.
I'm afraid it may not be that easy. The thing is, I expect Johanka will say the same things before the court that she's been preaching.
What are you saying?
Well, I've been thinking about what she's been saying, and it seems to me her preaching has a certain progression. Are you acquainted with the notion of the three orders of man?
Not really, no.
It's like this. It's said that everyone has their God-given place and purpose on earth. Laboratores, oratores, and bellatores. Those who work, those who pray, and those who fight. The common folk are born to work, to reap the fruits of the earth and to obey the laws of God and man. It is the purpose of the nobles to protect the people and the church against all dangers and to maintain peace and justice on earth. And the church in turn has the task of caring for the spiritual welfare of all, ensuring the salvation of their souls and bringing solace to the people in times of hardship, so that they can endure their earthly trials and enter the kingdom of heaven.
But what's all that got to do with Johanka?
Well, I noticed in her first sermon she primarily addressed the concerns of the common folk, and in the second she criticized the nobility.
Ah. So you think she might start talking about the church?
Yes, I'm afraid she might. I dread to think how that might end up. Henry, you must warn her against that. She must show humility before the Inquisitor, and the wisest course would be to admit to being wrong. She's rather stubborn, but perhaps she'll listen to you.
But the Inquisitor said no one's allowed to see her.
No one except the Inquisitor's own men. You'll just have to think something up. I'm afraid Johanka's fate is mainly in your hands now.
Hey, get rid of that thing in the corner.
Good luck to you.
Oh, cool. It's just on. Oh.
Witnesses can be summoned for Johanka's trial. So I wanted to ask you if you'd give a testimony. Maybe some learned speech in her defense?
I'd be glad to do it. Johanka deserves my help. Such testimonies could carry a lot of weight. You should try and get as many as you can.
Adela, the Inquisitor is going to try Johanka in court.
Oh, Lord. I hope she's acquitted. I was absolutely devastated when they took her away.
I need people to speak in her defense, and I'd like to ask you to do it.
I don't want to go there. Really. I'm afraid of that Inquisitor. But you helped me, and so did Johanka. It's only right that I should try and help her. But what am I supposed to say there? I'm just a simple village girl. I don't know anything about these things.
That doesn't matter. You just be yourself. It should be enough to talk about all the good Johanka does here, and how she helps others. I'll send for you if you're needed.
All right.
Thanks a lot. I need something from you, sir. I suppose you heard that Johanka was locked up by the Inquisitor and is facing charges of heresy.
I did, and it's most disturbing news.
What you might not know is that he's agreed that I can defend her at the trial.
You? Do you even know what to say?
Sure I know. It'll turn out just fine. Trust me. But I need you to testify at the court. In Johanka's defense, of course.
Naturally. You don't think I could just sit here and do nothing? Besides, the bishop has already insisted that I appear before the court.
Oh. All right.
One moment. I apologize if I was a little hasty. This whole affair has left me anxious. I appreciate that you want to defend her. However, I don't think it would have any effect. No offense, but I don't think you'll be able to achieve anything in court. I'm afraid the Inquisitor will judge as he sees fit, whatever anyone says. But I have an idea how you could help.
Oh? How's that?
Flee. With Johanka, of course.
No, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm sure Johanka will be acquitted by the court and everything will be all right. Running would just confirm the Inquisitor's suspicions, and she'd always be looking over her shoulder.
I don't agree. As I said, I don't believe you can affect the outcome of the court. If Johanka flees, yes, she'll have to lie low for a while, but in time it will all blow over. You can take her anywhere, as long as it's far enough from here. A girl like that will always find her feet. She can easily hide out somewhere where she's not known. Maybe there could even be a place for her on my estate. Whatever you decide, if Johanka comes to any harm, you'll have me to answer to. I'm very fond of her, and her of me, and I don't want anything to happen to her, understand? But if everything ends well, I'll show you my gratitude, I assure you. Take care now.
She'll learn to love me. Alright. Where are we going next? Probably to town. Oh, wait, no, there's one of them that's sort of... It's so serious. Oh, no, I'm not ready for the trial. But if I'm going to town...
Yeah!
Let's go, Pebbles.
Yeah!
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Goodman Pavel, we're still here. That's a relief. I was afraid I'd miss you.
Yes, yes, still here, but not for long. I had some business to deal with, but now that's out of the way and I'm getting ready to leave. What was it you wanted?
You might have heard that Johanka was arrested by the Inquisitor and is facing trial.
Indeed, word has reached me. Poor girl.
I'd like to ask you to speak to the court in Johanka's defense.
Of course, Henry. You have my word. And the word of a burgher of Colleen ought to mean something. But to speak in defense of someone accused of heresy is no small matter. What do you want me to say?
The same thing you told me. That it was a sacred sign that you happened to be nearby when Johanka was speaking, and so on.
True. I'll tell the bishop that. You can rest assured.
Thank you very much. Please wait here a few more days for the court to convene, then I'll send for you.
All right. For Johanka's sake, I'll wait. Good luck, then. Here's to a good harvest. I'm hungry. I'd like a bite to eat.
Man, these skips of water never seem to hold enough.
Yeah.
I have to go back to filling the huge thing of water. Knew it. I knew it was too close to that building.
Father, the Inquisitor has had Johanka thrown in jail.
I know, son.
He's planning a hearing.
Rightly so. It's about time this whole matter was dealt with.
What do you think about it, then?
As I say, it's a good thing that the matter is being investigated.
Ugh.
The things Johanka has been preaching are, to say the least, disturbing. Who knows what these dreams are that she speaks of? And her words are only putting ideas in people's heads and leading them astray. Now, instead of going to church, as they should, they go to her in the false belief that they will find solace. It's creating a chasm between the people and the church and leading them away from the true teaching left to us by Christ. They're misguided and swamped in heretical ideas.
I'll see both of these.
But Johanka is only saying what the Virgin Mary has told her. What can be wrong with that?
And how do you know the Virgin is really talking to her?
Well, I believe she's telling the truth.
Ah, but you can't be sure, can you?
I
Do
can.
you really think a girl from the stable knows God's teaching better than the church? Better
Wouldn't
than
that
the
be a
generations
person
of
that
church
would know
fathers
more?
And learned scholars since the time of Christ?
The one that was spoken
who have
to?
studied the sacred scriptures and their correct interpretation? With all the evil that's already going on in this province, the last thing people need is a false prophet.
Christ also came from a stable, though.
There's no comparison. Christ was the Son of God.
Prove
Enough
it.
of this. Bishop Yaroslav asked me to present my suspicions before the court, and that's what I
This guy
intend
sucks.
to do. He will then resolve the whole matter. He
I'm
is,
gonna
after
kill this
all,
guy.
more qualified than anyone to do so.
If you
Later,
say so, Father.
obviously.
Take care now.
Ugh.
Vegetables, fruit, apples, cucumbers, onions, salami, sausages, lobster.
Salami? The bailiff.
Master Bailiff, Inquisitor Yaroslav is going to try Johanka.
I know. He was here asking questions, too.
Oh? What did he want to know?
Various things, like how things are here, whether people are honest, whether we observe the fest days, and so forth. And then he asked about Johanka, about what she preaches, whether people come to listen to her and that. He's been talking to a lot of other people in Sasau, too. I even heard that Katra, the swordsmith's wife, invited him to dine with them.
That's interesting. Thanks for telling me. Was he just asking questions, or does he want you to testify before the court?
Yes, he did ask me to testify, and I'm none too happy about it.
I see. And what are you going to say about her?
It depends what I'm asked, but there's not much I can say. I don't know Johanka very well. She seems virtuous and self-sacrificing to me. She's never done anything wrong, and no one here ever had a cross word to say about her. Until recently. Maybe some gossip about her and Sir Sebastian. But I've heard similar talk about half the women folk here.
Johanka has helped a lot of people here, selflessly. Her heart is in the right place.
True. But then there's that preaching of hers. Folk have been falling out. They're split according to whether they believe Johanka or not. I don't know quite what to think of it myself. But I don't want to jump to conclusions. I'll wait and see what the learned bishop has to say.
Thank you for speaking openly, Master Bailiff.
Good luck to you.
Alright, so it's Smith's wife. Talk to this lady.
Look out.
You look out. I'm gonna make her answer.
Good health to you.
I need your help with something. I'm sure you've heard. Johanka was locked up by the Inquisitor.
Who hasn't? The whole of Sasso is talking about it. And the Inquisitor was asking around about her.
I'd like to ask you to appear before the court and say something in Johanka's defense.
I can't say I'm keen on going there. But Johanka helped me. And you did too. I think it's only right that someone should say something good about her.
Ah, thanks, Guta. I appreciate it. I'll send for you when it's time.
God be with you.
Alright. Now, I think I have to somehow talk to Johanka. I think that's talk to Johanka, that's Swords with Wife, and then that one is for the trial.
Yeah.
I'm here about Johanka.
You're that fella of hers, are you? What do you want?
No. I'm just a friend of hers. Matthias is her fella.
Huh. God knows how many she has.
I heard you invited Bishop Yaroslav to come and dine with you?
Yes, so what? Bishop Yaroslav is an esteemed visitor to Sasso, and it's only fitting he should be suitably hosted by devout burghers.
I'm just gonna go out and say it.
Nothing. The question is, what has she got against us? Tell me that.
What?
Nothing.
She turns up here and tries to tell us how to live our lives. Says the Virgin Mary whispers to her in the night. Yeah, I'm sure. To a simple village wench. I'd like to know who's really putting those ideas in her head. She's just getting people all worked up. Men, especially. Coming around here with her nonsense. Sasso is a decent, orderly place, I'll have you know. We don't want any trouble here. All this talk about hellfire and the end of the world. God have mercy. No one is interested in what she has to say. All they want is some spectacle. She ought to have thought twice before she started. Not that she wasn't warned.
What do you mean, warned?
As I said, she was told.
Damn it, woman, tell me what you meant by that.
I didn't mean anything by it.
Out with it!
If you must know, some of the fellas want to have it out with her and tell her to stop. No one wants her speeches here. That Would she listen? No. The devil possessed her to bring harm to us.
So it was you who sent those men?
All I wanted was to protect the Sasau folk against her poisonous tongue. And I'll do just that. The Monsignor asked me to testify in court. And I'll tell everything I know there.
And I'll do likewise. Farewell.
Go. Goodbye.
Man, that sounds like his wife's gonna act, and then, they really should have picked the armor smith. Oh, charisma. The charisma is 1. Charisma. Oh, probably clothing. I'll do this first. Okay, so it's 3 days, I believe. Oh God. Give me a second. Man, this charger thing's really good.
Yeah.
Embarrassing. Oh, I went too far.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm interested.
Uh-huh.
Ah.
I'm sure you'll be extreme.
Uh, 3 hours. Yeah, probably fun. Because I think it's 3 days. Oh, no. Let's go back up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do want to. Oh, let's get to Yohanka.
Come right up. It's the feast for your eyes and your stomach. It's hard to resist. You'll not find better meat
I think there's what down here? Isn't there a guard? Oh, talk to guard.
Hey, clear off. No one's allowed to talk to your hunker.
I have this piece of
Bishop
paper that says I can.
Yaroslav's orders.
I'm quite aware of that, my man. I'm with the bishop's entourage. Look.
Show me that. Ah, I see. All right, sir. You can talk to her.
Thank you. You can really read?
A little, yes. That's why they put me here.
Very
Nice.
good. I'm impressed. Now leave us, please.
Certainly, sir. God be with you.
Okay, I guess I'll just talk to her.
Johanka, are you alright?
Yes, Henry. I'm fine. I'm glad to see you.
I spoke to the Inquisitor. He wants to put you on trial.
I know. It's all in God's hands now.
No, it's not. I mean, it is, of course. But the bishop has allowed me to defend you.
You want to defend me? Thank you. Henry, that's very kind of you. But you needn't bother. Our Lady won't let anything bad happen to me. I am her instrument, and I am completely in her hands. Everything that's happening is her sacred will.
But I won't stand by with my arms folded. You need someone to testify for you. As I said, I will defend you.
If you insist. Maybe it's the will of the Virgin that you came to me. So be it then.
Alright. Oh, hey, I did the
I
pilgrimage.
went to Ujits, like you asked.
That's good, Henry. I hope you purged yourself of your sins.
I did the pilgrimage of penance, like you said. And in the church, I begged the Virgin Mary for forgiveness.
And she will bless you, Henry. You're a good man. Remember that. And don't stray into wrongdoing again.
It's gonna happen again.
I made a donation to the church, too. And the parish priest there, Father Godwin, he was asking about you.
Was he? Well, what did you tell him?
Oh, just about everything that's going on and the things you were saying. He was quite moved by it, to tell the truth. He even gave me some writings.
You see? Maybe Our Lady is giving you a sign too.
What did Bishop Yaroslav ask
I
you
have a
about?
feeling if we have
All
to
sorts
flee,
of
only
things,
make her mad.
like how the Virgin
Also, that's what the
Mary
guy
visits
says.
me, what she
But also,
shows me,
realistically.
and about preaching to the people. Actually, he was really quite pleasant. He asked me about Skalitz, whether I go to church, and a lot of other things. And in the end, he told me I mustn't speak in public again about the visitations and that. But I couldn't obey an order like that. The Blessed Virgin is testing me, and I have to do what she asks, no matter who or what stands in the way.
I'd say he wasn't too happy about that.
No. He came there with his men, dispersed the people, and had me arrested and locked up here.
About that trial?
Yes, the trial.
I'll get some people who will testify for you in court. But Brother Nicodemus is worried you'll say things that will make the Inquisitor angry. Please don't do that. You have to talk to him respectfully, answer his questions with humility, and not say anything to annoy him. And don't say anything against the church or priests. Please.
I'll say only what the Blessed Virgin wants me to say.
Fine, if that's how you want it. But if you annoy him, you'll make it worse for yourself and me too. I'm trying to help you here.
I know, but I can't let Our Lady down. After everything, I will fulfill the task she gave me. And then she'll heal Matthias. That's all that matters.
Sacra. This is going to be a right mess.
Just gonna tell Brother Nicodemus that it went poorly. It went poorly.
Some change back. Thanks.
God
be with you.
no, because he's just a guard. Is that, like...
That'll be about all. Some change for you here. Thank you.
Do I have any tailor's tools on me? But... There's not a tailor here. No, because it would be your husband who left. Dang it. Hmm?
Lovely cucumbers, asparagus and prunes.
Good health to you. Farewell.
Let's have a word about the... What about this?
More.
Very well.
Betwixt?
Sod off.
I have a bunch of money.
Meat of all shapes, sizes, and flavours.
Cabbage! Cabbage! Green cabbage! Get it before it goes brown.
Yeah.
Alright, Brother Nicodemus.
I spoke to Johanka.
And did you manage to convince her?
No.
Afraid not. She's stubborn. She says she answers only to the Blessed Virgin.
Oh dear, Henry. That's not good at all. What about her family? Doesn't she have a relative she might listen to?
No, they're all dead. She lives in Skalitz.
None of them survived the raid on Skalitz.
She has no one at all left in the
Well,
world. Poor child.
she has Matthias.
What actually happened here?
Johanka told me you went to Auschwitz.
Yeah? What's that got to do with anything?
The Inquisitor showed up here not long after you left. Apparently he heard about Johanka's preaching somehow. He even observed one of her sermons outside the town in disguise. He had her brought to him and spent a long time trying to discourage her from what she was doing. But then she went out again to preach about her visions outside of town. But before she even started, the Inquisitor turned up with Fabian and the guards. He said Johanka had ignored his outright ban, and he had her taken away. Then he warned the people there that Johanka was spreading heresy and undermining the church's authority, and forbade them to listen to her.
It sounds pretty serious.
It is. I'm afraid it could be very serious indeed.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to say the other option.
That's all? Didn't you speak to the Inquisitor?
No, actually I didn't. He saw me there listening to her preaching, and I was afraid to come forward and talk to him.
Aha. Well, that's understandable.
Thanks.
It sounds pretty serious.
It is.
What exactly does an Inquisitor do?
The Inquisition is a papal institution that deals with heresy. So people don't succumb to charlatans, false prophets and deceptions, and put their faith and their immortal souls in jeopardy. The Inquisitors have all sorts of powers, the kind we here can do very little to stand up to.
And what can he do to Johanka?
I'm not entirely sure. These legal issues are very complicated, but he could certainly excommunicate her, and maybe even sentence her to death.
Who is this Bishop Yaroslav?
I've never heard of him before, but the prior has. He said he's very well learned and the Bishop of Sarepta.
Sarepta? Where's that, Moravia?
No, it's far, far away, near the Holy Land. He got the title from the Holy Father himself.
And this bishop came all the way here from whatever?
Sarepta, but I doubt he's ever been there. It used to be a bishopric in the days of the Apostolic Fathers in Phoenicia, near Israel, but it was ransacked by the Muslims. Now it's just a titular bishopric. And Yaroslav is the titular bishop.
Titular bishop? Like he's not a real one?
It's, let's say, an honorary title. It refers to a diocese that no longer exists. And since a titular bishop has no diocese to oversee, he can devote himself to handling other very important church affairs, like ordaining other prelates, for example, to maintain succession through the centuries down from the time of Christ and his apostles.
Do you believe Johanka is really being visited by the Virgin Mary?
Well, Yes, Henry, I do. The things she says and the way she speaks. She doesn't sound like herself at all. I know she can't read, so where else could she have got it? Frankly, I can't think of any other explanation.
Sounds easy to me.
The bounds of this world.
May the Lord watch over you.
Oh, he's awake. I was just gonna look at him.
You're better.
Henry? Is it you?
Yes, it's me. Who else would it be?
I'm glad you're here, Henry. I feel a bit better now. I'd even like to eat something. I must tell Johanka. She'll be glad.
Johanka's not here.
Oh? Where is she?
How to begin? Look, things got a bit complicated here. The main thing is, Johanka is in jail, awaiting trial.
What? What happened?
The Virgin Mary is speaking to Johanka, and Johanka is spreading her word to the people. But there's this inquisitor who heard about it and had her arrested. He's putting her on trial for heresy.
Oh my God. How could such a thing happen? But if Our Lady is speaking to her, surely nothing can happen to her.
Well, I hope not. Trouble is, Johanka is very obstinate, and she's likely to say things in court that will just make it worse for her. Listen, Matthias, I need you to go with me and talk to her. Maybe together we can convince her to see sense.
I wish I could. But I'm still too weak to even get out of bed. I'm sorry, Henry. I just can't do it. You know what? Tell her I'm feeling better, and I agree with everything you tell her. Give her this dice. She'll understand. It'll almost be like I was there with you.
Dice?
Oh. It's a long story. Johanka knows all about it. Or you can ask Teresa, too.
All right. If you say so.
Henry, please, look out for her. And make sure nothing happens to her.
I'll do my best.
Take care. Good luck to you.
All the way back to Johanka. Try to take a wide berth around that corner. Sorry, I just don't see how that's my problem.
Good men, good wives, come have a look. Don't be shy.
The thing that phrase automatically kills Uncle Ben.
About that trial.
Yes, the trial.
I spoke to Matthias.
What? But he's lying in a fever, isn't he?
No, he's much better. He asked about you. He wanted to come here, but he's not strong enough yet.
Oh, that's wonderful. You see, Our Lady helped him. And now, I have to do my part.
But doesn't it mean that you've already done your part?
Well,
What would be the point of it all if the Inquisitor were to have you imprisoned now? Or even worse?
It's a message. A final test. I mustn't fail now. After everything.
But you already passed the Virgin Mary's message on. Many people heard it, and many of them have amended their ways. You certainly haven't failed. Look, Matthias gave me this for you, and he asked me to tell you to look out for yourself.
Thank you, Henry. Go now. I need to rest.
Hark! Only he shall enter therein. I'm glad to see you.
What are you preaching here, Father?
I preach the truth.
Why do you say such things about the church? The church is here to save us, isn't it?
The church is here to save only itself.
Hey, would you mind speaking at Johanka's trial?
Fine clothes and jewels. And what did the Pope do? No, the popes. What did they do while Skalitz was razed to the ground? They looked on in silence.
Yes, I suppose. But surely it's not possible that...
That the church could allow such terrible sins? The church, my son, is nothing but men. And men are deceived and sinful. Give power to men, and they will act towards their brothers like ravenous dogs.
Like the Cumans act towards our people.
Like Cain towards Abel.
What you say makes sense, Father. But aren't you afraid of being denounced as a heretic?
I may be. But whatever fate awaits me, I will face it with the truth on my lips and Christ's love in my heart. Good luck, then.
Based.
Onions that'll even make your man toy like a little lamb.
Alright, I guess I'm ready for trial, right? Okay. I might take a bard potion beforehand, just in case.
Yeah.
Hey, what's our charisma? 7. Nice.
Yeah.
I wonder I mean, I can imagine what happens if you just wait 3 days and don't help. That they just execute Johanka. Oh. Oh. That means level 20. Yeah, well groomed. Yeah, oh. But then I still can't repair things. Oh, let's play save first. I can do trial. A bit drunk.
I'm ready, Monsignor.
Excellent. I have also completed my investigation. We may commence then with the proceedings?
Yes.
Good. I will send for everyone who is to bear witness and have Johanka brought before the court. We'll commence first thing tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir.
One more thing. These are solemn proceedings that demand a certain decorum. I won't tolerate any clanking armor or otherwise inappropriate attire. You will wear this robe.
Of course. Thank you, Monsignor.
Very well. Rest now, and we'll take care now.
Tell me what I need to wear. Alright.
Let us begin.
Alright. Let's begin.
I, Bishop Yaroslav of Benishov, by the grace of God, Papal Inquisitor, have come here to Sasau in response to reports of Marian visitations and the preaching activities of one Johanka, a commoner. And I have found indeed that by her arbitrary words she's been leading good people astray and encouraging their rebellion against their betters. Furthermore, Johanka has attempted to usurp the glory that belongs alone to Holy Mother Church, and to appoint herself as an intermediary of the wisdom and grace of Almighty God. This does not behove any lay person, and certainly not a woman. It is therefore necessary to remedy her transgressions, and to investigate the extent and the basis of her misguidance. Or, as the case may be, heresy. Henry of Skalitz has elected to appear here in Johanka's defense, and his wish has been allowed. Anyone who elects to speak here does so before God, and shall be bound by a most sacred oath, to speak only the truth. I will first hear the testimony of Father Fabian, who sent me word of this matter, and who should best know what deeds are done in this parish.
I'm gonna kill this man.
Father Fabian, will you tell us what Johanka has been proclaiming?
Johanka claims that she has received visitations from Our Lady, the Holy Mother of God, who speaks to her in the night. It is an outrageous claim that I hold to be entirely untrue.
And did Johanka come forward to ask your advice regarding these alleged apparitions?
She did not. Instead, she took it upon herself to spread her
Who are you, buddy?
supposed wisdom to the people.
And prior to this, did Johanka attend church? Did you see her at your sermons, Father?
I did not, Monsignor. What's more, the parish priest of Skalitz is staying at my presbytery just now. Johanka knows him well enough, but she didn't come to see even him. I believe Johanka is deliberately avoiding the church. Instead, she meets her followers secretly in the woods and preaches to them. Either she made everything up, or the devil himself is whispering in her ear.
If I may, Monsignor, the Virgin Mary really does speak to Johanka.
Is that so? And on what do you found this claim?
It couldn't be the devil. Johanka lives at the monastery, doesn't she? Close to the cave of St. Procopius. St. Procopius, who overpowered the devil and cast him down, did he not? The evil one would hardly dare return to the dominion of the saints to whisper in Johanka's ear. Surely that's obvious.
It's true, Henry. An evil spirit, even Lucifer himself would have little power in the vicinity of the remains of St. Procopius.
But the fact that she lives at the monastery doesn't mean that she is not misguided. What's more, she is an interloper there herself, who would not even be tolerated if it weren't for Brother Nicodemus.
Yes, Father. I am aware of the impropriety of her presence in the monastery grounds. But in this, I must concur with Henry.
No, now you're changing your strategy.
Monsignor, would you please hear the testimony of the respected burgher Pavel of Kolin? He will testify that Johanka isn't making anything up.
Well, I'm very curious what this Pavel will tell us. Call Pavel of Kolin. I'm a little surprised to find a counselor of Kolin here, especially you, who makes no secret of your animosity towards Sasau Monastery.
True. Although I have only criticized the monastery in secular matters of property, which concerned a dispute with the town of Kolin, and therefore my duties as a counselor.
Pavel, please tell us about your recent experience.
I'm all ears, Goodman.
Monsignor, some years ago I hid some money in Sasau Woods. When I found myself here again recently and heard Johanka's words, I remembered that matter. Johanka made me aware of my inordinate love of wealth, and I resolved to donate the money in question for the common good of Sasau. For this, I needed an honest intermediary who would locate the money. In this, too, Johanka helped me by putting me in touch with Henry here. By the grace of God, he found the long-lost treasure and donated it for the good of Sasau. The whole matter I regard as the intervention of the Holy Spirit.
An interesting tale, Goodman Pavel.
Not only that, it's also evidence of divine providence, and that Johanka isn't making anything up. She wasn't possessed by an evil spirit. On the contrary, Our Lady really did speak to her.
I must concur with that, Monsignor, because I was subsequently also visited in a dream by the Virgin Mary.
What? You too?
Yes. She appeared in a blue cloak and waved to me.
Do you swear that what you say is true, Pavel?
I swear by Almighty God, Monsignor.
Remarkable. Truly remarkable. Very well, Goodman. Thank you for your testimony. You may stand down.
Even if it were true, why would Our Lady choose a simple village girl like Johanka?
Monsignor, with your permission, I'd like to draw attention to the work of the great scholar Matthew of Yanov. He exalted women like Johanka. He said that God created what is weak in order to bring shame on what is strong. That's why God turns to women who love Christ and blesses them with such visions, so that they can point out and rectify the vanities of men. It can't be heresy if the learned masters of universities write such tracts.
What you say is remarkable. Matthew's work, which you mentioned, does speak to Johanka's benefit, but I wouldn't have expected that someone of your station has even heard of the Master of Yanov. How did you come by his work?
Well, Johanka pressed me to go on a pilgrimage of repentance. I went to Uzhitz, where there is a Marian church, and there, the parish priest gave me a copy of the text.
He lent it to me. I have to return it.
Indeed. Especially that you are at all capable of reading such a work and understanding it. You're quite a fountain of unexpected skills, Henry.
Thank you, Monsignor.
Let's proceed then. Is there anything else you want to add, Henry?
I call my next witness.
Yes. Please call Brother Nicodemus. He has something to say about it. He's a man of learning and knows more about these things than I do.
Certainly. I also wish to hear his testimony. Call him. Nicodemus, for some time you were insisting that the infirmary needed extra pairs of hands. It was only at your request that Johanka, against all accepted custom, was allowed inside the monastery walls. I've already spoken to Abbot Peter about her, but please tell me how Johanka behaved.
Monsignor, I must stand behind Johanka. The girl is a treasure. Selfless, charitable, and good-hearted. She helped more people here than anyone else. I have never
And it's only Henry's fault that everybody died.
contradict the behavior of a good Christian. She never discussed questions of faith with me. She was always focused only on her work, which she carried out impeccably.
And afterwards, when she began making claims of Marian apparitions?
Yes. Yes. That's quite an extraordinary thing. The things she preached couldn't have come from any of the brothers, or from books, because she can't read. Therefore, I believe the Blessed Virgin really spoke to her.
Nonsense. She made the whole thing up. Or someone did prompt her. You're very keen to defend her, brother. It makes me wonder whether she didn't get her wisdom from you.
I already said she got none of it from me, and I would never lie before Almighty God. But it seems to me it's the inadequate education of the good parish priest here that's behind his flimsy litany.
What? Am I to be criticized by someone who's more a gardener than a scholar?
Father Fabian, let Nicodemus speak. And you, Nicodemus, stick to the point, if you please.
Certainly, Monsignor. Please allow this humble gardener to put the good priest right, because he evidently knows nothing of the fact that other women before Johanka had similar experiences. Blessed Hildegard of Bingen also had similar visions. And what about St. Bridget, or Elizabeth of Schurnau, or Catherine of Siena? Like them, Johanka here only humbly spreads the message of Our Lady. She does not present herself as an intermediary of divine mercy. Please do not condemn Johanka, Bishop Yaroslav. In my judgment, her visions are genuine and her words sincere.
Thank you, Nicodemus. Your plea is very bold. But what you say about Hildegard and the others is true. You can rest assured I will consider your words very carefully.
All right, next witness.
Fabian, have you had trouble with heretics before, or had any suspicions of heresy here?
Not much, Monsignor. Now and then there have been traveling preachers and various charlatans here and there. Although, I did recently get reports that there were members of the Waldensian sect hiding in the province.
Waldensians? So there have been heretics concealed here. So, it cannot be ruled out that Johanka also associated with them. Perhaps they are even behind this matter, too. Thank you, Father Fabian. That's all.
I'm glad to have been of service, Monsignor.
I thank you also, Brother Nicodemus. You too may stand down. Call Hoshek, bailiff of Sasau. Bailiff, has there been any suspicious activity here recently?
Well, there have been cumins on the rampage in the woods and on the roads, and all sorts of bands of footpads and brigands around the province. But otherwise, it's all been peaceful and quiet here, Monsignor.
How reassuring. And what of Johanka, bailiff? Has she been inciting the people here?
I couldn't tell you much about her. I hardly know her. She hasn't broken any laws, and folks speak well of her, for the most part. Although it's true, things have been a bit tense here, on account of her speeches.
Continue.
Quite a lot of people have been going to her since she started with that preaching. Some are even convinced she's a holy woman. From what I heard, they bring her small gifts or ask for her advice or blessing.
Sacrilege! People coming for blessings and bringing her gifts. That has all the makings of a cult.
Oh, I don't know, Monsignor. Begging your pardon, but that's overstating it a bit. But it's true. They met outside town, too, and it came to a bit of a skirmish. Nothing serious happened, though. Fellas punching each other in the mouth. If you'll excuse me, Monsieur, that happens all the time. Well, that's about all I can tell you, Monsignor.
Thank you, Bailiff. That will be all. And you, Henry, you've been around Johanka more than anyone. Do people come to her for blessings?
Yeah, don't.
They come to her, yes. But I swear she never blessed anyone. But when someone comes to her, she tries to help them, like a good Christian.
Henry, I'm sure you're aware that to lie here is a mortal sin and a crime.
I do. And I'm not lying.
All right. Anything else?
Her.
Yes, Monsignor. Johanka helped Guta, the tailor's
Oh,
wife.
yeah. This would
Please
be.
hear her testimony. You'll see for yourself that Johanka is a good Christian.
Very well. I promised I'd hear your witnesses. Call this Guta.
Guru.
Guta, you witnessed Johanka's first sermon. What did she speak of?
About how we should be virtuous and not sinful.
And then you went to see Johanka, didn't you?
I did, Monsignor. I wanted to ask her for help, and she did. I was praying for my husband for a long time and begging God to help him. And I believe my prayers were answered, and he sent Johanka to us.
And there were others who came to her seeking help?
Yes, Monsignor. There were.
And that shrine, and the gifts. People brought them to Johanka so she'd help them?
I couldn't tell you. But she helped me, without any of that.
Didn't you bring her any gifts?
Well, yes, but that was after. Just some old cloth for bandages and bed covers, so she could help others like she helped me. Every evening, I pray for Johanka and thank the Blessed Virgin for sending her to us.
I see. Thank you. You may go.
I'd like you to listen to Adela. She amended her life and doesn't live in sin anymore, all because of Johanka. Johanka helped people selflessly, not for any benefit, and Adela can testify to that.
All right. Bring this Adela. Adela, until recently you were living in the nearby town of Ledechko, is that so?
Yes.
And how did you make a living there?
I served at the baths, laundering and repairing clothes, and preparing the baths.
Is that all?
No. Sometimes I went with the fellas and pleasured them for money. But I don't do it anymore. I swear. I changed my ways on account of Johanka and Henry here, and now I lead a decent life.
You're saying you simply gave up your profession?
Yes. Henry convinced me, and Johanka took me in.
Very well. Thank you. And since you left Ledechko, have you sinned with anyone?
No, monsieur, I haven't.
Good. May God give you the will to maintain your newfound virtue, Adela. And now, please answer one more question. You're living with Johanka now, yes? Tell me what she says to the people who come to her.
Well, they come with all sorts of problems. Some want just advice. Some want her maybe to bless them or talk to Our Lady for them. They believe she's a holy woman.
So, Johanka accepts gifts from these people and then gives them her blessing?
No, it's not like that. Johanka doesn't bless anyone. And she doesn't want any gifts from anyone either. Folk just bring them. The things they bring, she gives them out to the sick and wounded. She doesn't keep anything, I swear.
You swear?
Yes, I swear to it all, Monsignor. I'd never lie to you.
All right. You may go. Now I wish to question Katra, the swordsmith.
Oh, here we go.
Bring her here. Katra, you are a respected townswoman who has a good overview of what goes on in Sasau. As you told me earlier, will you tell me now what you know of Johanka and her deeds?
Yes, I'll tell you everything, Monsignor. Johanka has been putting ideas into people's heads and causing chaos. What right
Karen.
has she to preach to us? A simple girl like that. As if we were bad people here, and she herself is a sinner, and an adulterer, a loose woman she is, who goes with anyone, and even fornicated with the custodian, Sir Sebastian.
Forgive me, Monsignor, but Katra isn't telling the whole truth.
What do you mean, Henry?
She's the one who set a band of thugs on Johanka several times to cause trouble for her and threaten her. She wanted to drive Johanka out of town. That's not the deed of a good Christian, plotting intrigues like that. She admitted it all to me.
Is that true?
I only did what was necessary to stop her from bringing us to harm.
Monsignor, you can see yourself that Katra holds a grudge against Johanka.
Yes. I must agree with Henry. In view of your apparent antagonism towards Johanka, whatever the reasons for it, I cannot allow you to influence these proceedings. You should have reported your concerns to Father Fabian instead of acting willfully as you did.
But she's bringing us nothing but trouble.
I will be the judge of her transgressions, not you. Nevertheless, I have also heard rumors of Johanka's immorality that cannot be ignored. Bring here the Sasau custodian, Sir Sebastian von Berg.
Here we go.
Sir Sebastian, my apologies for raising the matter, but doubts have been cast on your virtue. I have been told that you have shared your bed with Johanka. Is it true?
Monsignor, with respect, this is surely some mistake. Johanka is not a bad girl, and by no means a heretic.
Noted. Now please answer my question. Did you share your bed with Johanka or not?
Yes, but she's not...
Silence! So, Johanka not only incites rebellion against the nobles, but also seduces them into sin and immorality.
Monsignor, I've known Johanka a long time, and she's a virtuous girl and a good Christian. She just needed support. It wasn't a bodily desire, but one of the soul. Consider what she went through. Her whole family slaughtered, and everyone here turned their backs on her, but for Sir Sebastian. Anyone can make a mistake, can't they? And she's sorry for her mistake.
Monsignor, let's put a stop to this. It's undignified for us both. And for Johanka. She's no heretic. Just a confused young girl to whom fate has been less than kind. Her confusion will pass. All it needs is for someone to explain to her the error of her ways. There's no necessity for extreme measures.
Sir Sebastian, be so kind as to leave the judgment of Johanka's transgressions to me. You may go. Henry? You've been very keen to appear here in Johanka's defense. You've said a lot about her, but please, tell me why you've been helping her all this time.
Because I don't know anyone like her. She endured what would destroy most people and never gave up. She never wasted time feeling sorry for herself,
Instead, she helped others, even at the cost of her own suffering. And she helped to redeem me, too. It's a pity everyone isn't like her.
It seems you speak sincerely, and you hold her in high regard. Your sincerity before God carries great weight. Thank you. That will be all, Henry.
Monsignor, please permit me to say one more thing. I heard some wise words at a sermon in Scallis, and I think I should share them here. It's our Christian duty to fight against sin. But we must love the sinner. So I beg you, Monsignor, be lenient to Johanka.
You're right, Henry. Those are wise words. Nothing remains but to question Johanka herself. Johanka of Skalitz, you've heard the accusations brought against you, and we have also heard several testimonies. I already questioned you earlier. Johanka, do you wish to revise the answers you gave earlier, or do you stand by what you said?
I stand by everything I told you.
So be it. I expressly forbade you to continue preaching, and you promised not to do so. You defied my instruction and broke your promise. Why?
Forgive me, Monsignor. But I could do nothing else. Our Lady asked me to do it, and I couldn't refuse her. She did visit me. But now I admit that I might have been wrong about some things. I don't understand these learned matters, and I was too hasty in speaking to the people. I regret that I didn't go first to Father Fabian and tell him about everything. I want to apologize here, before the Blessed Virgin. If I misunderstood something and said untruths or brought shame on the Church, I didn't intend to do anything like that. I ask Our Lady's forgiveness, and I will accept any punishment that you impose on me.
I'm pleased that you've seen the error of your ways and confessed to your mistakes. These proceedings are closed. You may leave. Johanka will now hear my verdict.
Johanka, are you aware you're facing very grave accusations?
Yes, Monsignor. I am.
You stand accused of preaching from ignorance and leading the people away from the protective embrace of Holy Mother Church. If you do not recant, you will suffer grave consequences.
Pride and ignorance clouded her reason.
Child, it would distress me greatly to have to pronounce a verdict of condemnation. Speak then. Do you recant your sermons and swear never again to preach to the people? And are you prepared to repent?
As God is my witness, I did all this with good intentions. And I sincerely repent of my sins of conceit. I confess that I was led by my pride to believe the Virgin Mary chose me to put the world to rights. And I set myself above the learned prelates of the Church and the divine right of nobility.
Ugh.
I repent my sins of pride and ask forgiveness. I will do as you command, Father.
Johanka has confessed her guilt. From this day forward, she'll be a good and humble Christian again. She shall no longer indulge in philosophizing, and shall, in her penitent's robe, go every day to pray at the Church of St. Martin.
It'd be hard to do that when the priest is dead.
Welcome Johanka back into your midst, and hold no grudge against her. If the Virgin Mary should happen to visit you again, tell Father Fabian and he will send for me. All right?
Yes, Signor.
Very good.
That was nice. If she visits you again, tell him he'll send for me, and then we'll figure it out.
Johanka was cleared of all charges of heresy, and the Inquisitor, his job done and his verdict pronounced, left Dessau for good. Matthias recovered from his illness, and he and Johanka finally met again. It was a happy sight to see them both alive and well after their trials. Who knows what awaits them now? Or all of us, for that matter.
Trophy. I'm gonna return that the book to Ujits.
Johanka?
Henry, I'm still muddled from all that happened, but I want to thank you for standing by me. You've done more for me than anyone else I know.
You don't have to thank me. I only did what I considered right.
I'm still grateful, though. I'm in your debt.
God be with you.
Henry, I want to thank you for that generous donation to the infirmary. I'm glad you and
Oh, did I not talk to him after
What
that?
do you need?
Brother Nicodemus, I'd like to thank you for the wonderful testimony you gave.
You're the one who deserves thanks, Henry. I feared the worst, and for all my prayers, I never even dared hope for such an outcome. I could hardly believe it at first. I was very fearful for Johanka. It didn't look good at all for her, facing such accusations. And you did an excellent job, Henry. It's largely due to you that everything turned out as it did. Thanks for defending her, Henry. There's few people who could have done it so well. Recently, I found an interesting volume in the monastery library and made a copy from it in secret. It's just a few lines, but maybe you'll find it useful.
Thanks.
I just won't get any sleep.
Do you still think the Virgin Mary's visitations were real?
Yes, I think they were. Even if she didn't interpret the message quite correctly, we were certainly witness to something extraordinary.
God save Henry.
Oh, he's been talking to her.
Good morning.
How are things going here?
Quite well. It's a lot of work, but I have a feeling I'm doing something useful. Johanka and Brother Nicodemus showed me what to do, and I already know a thing or two.
Sounds good.
I have a roof over my head, enough to eat, and they even pay me a bit. It's really quite fine.
I'm glad to hear it. And you've had no trouble from anyone?
No, everyone has been kind. It's sweet of you to care, Henry.
God be with you.
So talk to Johanka. I was wondering about Matthias. I'd call that horse a miracle if I could steal it. And probably just talk to everyone involved.
Is something the matter? Greetings, good night.
Good luck then.
Oh, is that allowed?
Is someone there?
What? Why am I not allowed in here?
Must be going mad.
I don't know.
Johanka was cleared of all accusations, despite the things that were said in the trial, which you heard yourself, sir.
Johanka has been cleared and is safe, it's true. And now she's with that fellow, Matthias. But I suppose it's best that way. I should never have started that affair with her. It was unreasonable on my part and unjust towards her. Now I can see the wrongness of my actions. Thanks to her. In the future, I'll be a better, more virtuous person. I believe that's what she wanted. May she find happiness with Matthias. As long as I'm in Sasau and have it in my power, they shall have my protection. It means I also owe an apology to you, Henry of Skalitz. Thank you for doing what you did for Johanka. Recently, I had a new weapon made for myself, but I think it's more fitting that you should have it. Here it is. Let's speak no more of Johanka. Go in peace. Good luck, then.
Ooh.
Huh?
God bless you. What troubles you?
We came at the last moment.
True. I feared the worst. I had to flee from the Turks once. But this was an even closer shave. But as for our misfortunate Master Favor, I fear you may have come too late. I examined his wounds and I'm not sure he's strong enough to pull through.
That is too bad. Too bad that you weren't able to escape on time.
Yes, Sir Capon took fright, understandably for someone his age.
How do you like it here, Master Keyser?
It's quite satisfactory. Indeed, it's more than satisfactory. I have to commend Master Fayfar for his diligent supervision of the construction work. His extensive knowledge of mechanics is proving most useful.
Did Fayford
He has
die?
the makings of quite a competent siege master.
I don't think he's yearning to become one. His life's mission has been to manage the mines.
We'll see if he feels the same after he has a crack at firing our trebuchet. It's a sight to knock the wind out of any man, especially if he's standing too close.
What the...
Good luck then.
Yeah.
Oh. Damn, I'm still alive right here.
Has a novice ever escaped from the monastery?
Not that I know of. And I don't understand it. What did he lack here? All that awaits him in the outside world is sin and suffering.
What do you think about what's happened? It's terrible, isn't it?
What can I tell you? We'll all miss our brother, and the thought that one of us could have done it is worse than purgatory. If the murderer isn't found soon, I'll go mad.
What do you think about...
What can I tell...
What do you think about...
What can I tell you?
Has a novice...
I don't remember it ever happening before. To dishonor the rule and the vow made to God himself? Perhaps he'll see the error of his ways and return.
I'm still curious. It's no big, terrible secret. Really, it isn't.
There's a lot of coin in this.
I admit it might look that way. I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here. And also because I really hate the question. I was rich. I've no head for...
What about the dagger?
That's a memento of better times. Father gave me that when I was a little lad. And it's done right by me more than once, when I got drunk.
Do you know how to...
And how?
That's all I wanted.
Please, keep it...
Has a novice...
Not that I know of.
What do you think about...
There are no words.
What do you think about...
It's horrible. I'd never believe it could happen in the mar...
Has a novice...
Not that I know of.
Hmm?
God save Henry.
Blair Witch? Well, I did want to ask. Hey, where's Matthias?
For the love of God.
And how is Matthias doing now?
Good, I think. He's getting his strength back. How we're doing isn't for your ears, Henry.
Oh.
How's it going here?
Good. I go to St. Martin's Church often, and Father Fabian is strict with me. But he explains many things to me about God and faith, and he tests me to see if I understand correctly. Then he always leaves me alone to pray and do penance.
And what about the Virgin Mary?
No. Whatever anyone says, she did appear to me before. Just between the two of us. I think I did what she wanted of me anyway. Perhaps I was too hasty and committed the sin of pride and got confused about some things. But even so, after all, Matthias recovered, and that must mean something.
I also think you spoke well, and you were right about some things. And I believe Our Lady did appear to you.
Thank you. Let's talk no more about it. Only Our Lady herself knows what her intentions were, and that's how it should be. In church I always prayed to her for forgiveness. I hope she hears my prayers.
There's one thing I'm curious about. What did the Inquisitor say after we left?
He spoke about God and the Blessed Virgin, but I'm not supposed to tell anyone. I probably shouldn't say anything, but I think, in the end, even the bishop believed that Our Lady really did appear to me.
What, the Inquisitor?
Shh! I never said a word, all right?
Ah, yeah, sure. I understand.
Now, I need to rest a while.
What will you do now?
I have to stay in Sasau for some time, on account of Father Fabian. But the abbot wants me to leave the monastery as soon as possible. And then, I'll have to talk to Matthias about it. God be with you.
I was really hoping I'd be able to see Matthias. Like he'd be like laying in that bed. Look up. Oh, during the day he's working in the gardens. Next to the farms, next to the monastery. Is that here? The gardens next to the farms, next to the monastery. That could be... Oh, it's not this. But I know there's... over by the armor smith. Where, I got all that stuff for that guy, and then he tried to commit arson and got killed. In the gardens, next to the farms, next to the monastery. So it could be here. This is, yeah, this is that. awesome.
How are you getting on?
I can't complain.
I'm glad to see you back on your feet.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Henry. Your hunker told me all about how you helped her. And actually, me too. It's incredible. All the things that happened.
You're right there.
I'm in your debt, Henry. For both of us.
Don't mention it, Matthias. You'd have done the same, wouldn't you?
Of course I would.
See? Next time I need help, I know who to come to. Anyway, what else is new? What about your hunker?
Well, she has to go to St. Martin's to do penance every day.
You know that's not what I'm asking about.
Yeah. It's all good. Of course, she's very busy. And me too. But we'll go dancing together next time there's some feet here. That is, I'd like to. She would too, but she's a bit ashamed.
Why?
On account of the preaching, and the court and everything. She's worried about being among people.
Ah, I see. Well, that'll pass with time, believe me. Johanka went through some very difficult trials. You mustn't rush her. You understand, don't you?
Yeah, you're right.
So what will you do now, Matthias? Or the two of you?
I wish I knew, Henry. For now, I'll work in the monastery grounds. Maybe even on the construction, until they throw us out.
They don't want to let you stay here?
Well, it seems the abbot isn't happy about so many lay people right outside the monastery walls. Nicodemus is trying to put a word in for us, and for Adela, too. But the abbot can be very obstinate. He wasn't happy about Johanka being here at all. And then, with all that happened after...
I see. So what will you do if you have to leave?
I really don't know. We'll stay until harvest, at least. There'll be plenty of work, and then... we'll see. Maybe we can find jobs somewhere around here. But more likely we'll go away to other parts. If we can save some money. I don't know where, though.
Hey, I got a town.
Well, I might have something for you. Sir Divish appointed me bailiff of Pribyslavitz. After you finish with the harvest, the two of you could go there. There'll be lots of work there for a clever pair like you.
Jesus, Henry. You've really come up in the world. That would be great. Thanks. We'll go there, right after harvest. It's good to know we'll have a place for the winter. I won't forget you for this, Henry. And for everything you've done.
Alright, let's see if we can go kill two,
Yeah.
well, definitely the pastor. But I also want to see if I can kill the swordsmith's wife. I mean, it's right there in the book. Thou shalt not bear false witness. I mean, also says, do not kill, but...
He doesn't look drunk.
Oh, hey.
You whoreson.
You dodge? No.
My God, what happened to you?
The Lord watch over you. See you later.
That's one down.
Yeah.
You didn't see me. Here's leveled up drinking. Make sure it's him. No, it was the Skeleton Priest. I killed the wrong man. There we go.
Yeah.
Wesley is talking about Full Metal Alchemist. Alright. Go to Samapesh. To a little travel, alright. I guess we'll just go to this bar in. Yeah, that's the word. Hmm?
Good day. God be with you.
Okay. That was... Oh, I don't remember 4 in now.
That's anchored here.
That was funny. The Philosopher's Stone is made of souls! Alright. Put that out. That out. Let's put the Devil's Scowl. Oh yeah, let's check out the sword. Romberg sword. The execution sword's really only good at slashing. What happened to the one sword I got? Did I just put it up? That's St. Michael. Oh, did I like reload? I might have. That's awesome, it's a sword. Yeah, the St. George sword. Yeah, it's not here, so I had to have not gotten it. Alright, I've got to return that. So, yeah. Nothing. Give me a second. Okay, 1 second. Oh, man. What news? Oh no, I know. I know. I know. I haven't bought it yet. Yeah, I took a screenshot of it. Where I'd seen it was on sale. Well. Yes.
Oh. Good God, you look terrible.
What's the matter?
It's the tourney. It always upsets me.
What tourney?
You don't know about the tournament? Sir Hanush decided to revive the regular Rat-Eye tournament again. The first one will be tomorrow, in the courtyard of the...
Why would the tourney upset you?
It brings back sad memories about my son Svartabrook. God rest him. He always loved sword fighting. Even when he was just a lad, he used to duel with his mates with sticks. And for years he saved every groschen he got so he could buy a real weapon. Wasn't long before he had the hang of all sorts of fancy strikes and feints. So when he heard Sir Hanush was holding tourneys for common folk, he was first in line to enroll.
I see. And he got hurt in the arena?
Oh, heavens no. Sir Hanush set the rules in such a way that nobody would suffer more than a bruise or two. And he makes damn sure the rules are obeyed.
Did your son ever win the tourney?
Oh, aye, more than once. Svartabrook wasn't the strongest, but he was agile as a weasel. And he put his heart and soul into it.
So what happened to him then?
Well, this fella by the name of Peter enrolled. They called him Black Peter on account of the colour he wore. He beat all comers. No man could match him. Only Svartalflook was determined to take him, so he started training all the hours God gave. He even started going to Captain Bernard for lessons. And in the last tourney, he got the better of Black Peter in the end and won the prize. Only he never came home that day. I figured he was having a drink in Rattay to celebrate his victory. But he didn't even turn up in the morning, and I started getting worried. I was just on my way to look for him when some merchants came by. They found my boy by the road just past Rattay. He was still alive, but he was burning up and shaking like a leaf. I sent for the sawbones right away. But before the day was out, I had to send for the priest.
Do you think it was this Black Peter who killed him?
It was the first thing crossed my mind. Aye. But there's no proof. It could have been anyone, I suppose.
Do you know anything about this Black Peter?
Oh, not much. I asked around, but nobody knew nothing much about him. Except he was a stuck-up bastard. He always just turned up for the tourney, took his prize and vanished.
Did Svartalflook have any wounds?
Only a couple of scratches and bruises from the tourney. Nothing that would kill a man. Not even the sawbones could figure out what done him in.
Look, I'll try and find out what happened to your boy. I can't promise anything, but if I turn anything up, I'll let you know.
Oh, thank you. I swear to Almighty God I won't let you go unrewarded.
Take care.
Ooh.